So, welcome everybody. Welcome. How are you doing today? It's very nice to have you here, and it's always nice to have this time together, and especially with students that I have been working with in longer programs. And today I wanted to speak a little bit about how to find peace and true freedom in relating. And of course, we all know, that relationships are a pretty big subject, and they are really involving in our life. And the reason why that is that most of the time in our life we spend in relating, right? From early on until through all the different relationships we have until, we grow up, and now and relationships that we have with family, the relationships that we have with friends, with people we work with other people. And so we could talk about relating for a really long time, but today I want to focus a little bit on, what is interesting for me in our work together, and that is that there is a specific kind of conditioning that only comes up when we relate. So we can be just, sitting here on our own and doing well and everything is going fine, and then we start relating, and then all different kinds of things start to come up. Or we have a challenge in relating in general, right? And that's the kind of conditioning that I speak about, that I'm interested in. So in general, when we think about relating, we can say, it shows us where we are at in terms of resting in presence. And we can also say it's challenging, to find a true embodiment of presence while we relate. And the reason for that is that, our relational conditioning starts really early. And it's even pre-verbal, it's even before verbal, right? And so these patterns, we can say the patterns that have been here even before this life, then they get reinforced by this really early life conditioning. And then what happens is that it becomes very challenging, right? Because we so closely identify with that. So it becomes very challenging to come to rest. And even though we may have, and many of you experience already presence and resting in presence, and many, and many situations and times and moments when you are able to come to rest. But then when we come to relating, we can see that there's a whole other area of conditioning, right? A whole other area of conditioning that because we so identify with that, because we so rely on that, it remains challenging to be with or invisible. And so what I want to focus on in this program, that's a 5-week program for advanced students. What I want to focus on at this time is I want to really take time to bring more awareness to the relational patterns. And I don't know if you can hear this bird out there, but that's my friend here coming, wants some food, so a little impatient. But, bring awareness to what are the patterns that we engage in when we relate. Because you know how powerful awareness is, right? We have to start with that. We have to begin with that. And then I want to spend some time in really deeper inquiry, because ultimately, the reasons we experience challenge anywhere, right, is because of our own unfinished, unfulfilled past or unresolved past. And it is sometimes very challenging to come to rest here. And that's what I want to focus on. And I also want to focus on, because the other step that is really important, other than just our own inquiry, is also then how to communicate with the other, how to be really able to come from this place of presence, and how to be able to not only be present to what is here and come to rest here, but also be aware of the other, of what's going on for them, what's happening in the interaction with the other, and how to communicate that, how to communicate what's going on, how to create a way of, resolving conflict, working on conflict, and a way to communicate that brings us more to resting in presence. So I'm very much looking forward to this time together. As always, as usual, any time that we sit together, any time that you are here at rest with what is, that is really an invitation to freedom. And so I'm looking forward to that, and I hope to see you there.